From Easter Island
to the Terracotta Army,
plus the Rosetta Stone.
This is the 5 biggest discoveries ever.
5!
Believed to be built around 1400 to 1650 AD by the Rapa Nui natives of the Easter Island, the massive megaliths stand anywhere from 12 feet to 40 feet high, and the largest one weighing 86 tons. These whole-body statues contain deep-set eyes, a broad nose, and even a mouth. The bodies are usually in a squatting position with resting arms and no legs. Out of the 837 statues recovered so far, 834 are made out of tuff, which are compressed volcanic ash. After being carved, the statue would be rubbed down with the pumice stone to smooth out any rough edges. But why did the natives build these beautiful works of art? Well, many archaeologists believe the Moai symbolized authority and power, both religious and political. To the natives, it represented a sacred spirit which represents the Polynesian ancestors. They were built to honor the chief or other important people who passed away. They normally faced towards the villagers as if to keep watch over the people. For a long time, many researchers were puzzled by how these extraordinary large statues were transported to the shorelines. Legend has it that the natives who possessed great power simply commanded them to move, and they did so. However, the most logical answer is that they utilized log rollers. These pushed the statues with the help of manpower and ropes. The Moai stand on the Easter Island not only marks the tribe's significance, but tells how culturally rich they were and leaves a lasting impression.
4! Before the massively successful Rosetta Stone language software that everyone's familiar with, the original Rosetta Stone's discovery was the first major insight into the Egyptian culture of the past. The stone itself is a slab of granite engraved with 3 different scripts upon its surface. These texts came written in Greek, Demotic, and Hieroglyphs and consisted of 2 languages, Egyptian and Greek. Why say the same thing thrice? Greek was the language used among the rulers and the elite. Demotic was the traditional form of writing used for the language at the time, and hieroglyphs were mainly used in religious documentation. The Rosetta Stone started life as a stele, commissioned by King Ptolemy V as a testament to all the things the pharaoh has done for Egypt. 400 years later, during the time of Roman Emperor Theodosius I, non-Christian temples were being shut down and used as quarries for building materials. This is where the Rosetta Stone broke into the section that we're all familiar with today. Jump forward 3 centuries to Napoleon Bonaparte's campaign through Egypt, where the stone was discovered by his lieutenant Pierre-François Bouchard during the fortification of Fort Julien. This granite slab got its name from its location, which is only a few miles northeast of Rosetta. Due to the prolific nature of the Rosetta Stone, it sparked major debate between the French and the British as to which side would keep it. While still unspecified as to how the stone ended up in British hands, the stone has been on public display since 1802 at the British Museum. What makes this find huge is the collaboration between scholars all around the world to decipher a language that was lost long ago, which in turn opened up the examination of a civilization that was lost long ago. 3!
If you haven't heard about the lost city of Pompeii, then maybe you've been buried under a rock, which ironically is what basically happened to the people of Pompeii. The city of Pompeii was a once thriving colony of the Roman Empire until it was completely covered in volcanic ash in 79 AD. The town, located in near modern-day Naples, is one of the best preserved cities in all of ancient Europe. The eruption of volcano Mount Vesuvius was so abrupt and the massive ash and pebbles was so wide that the city was literally covered in 9 meters of volcanic ash on the spot. Because of this, the city was preserved underground, away from the effects of vandalism and weather damage for over hundreds of years. It was home to amenities such as a gymnasium, a complex water system, and an amphitheater. Explorations and studies have shown that the citizens of Pompeii were actually very healthy and prosperous. About half of the population was considered either a slave or a freed slave. The citizens of the town held surprisingly functional occupations like seaport merchants or business professionals. At its peak, its population reached 11,000 people. Some of its people were preserved by the very same thing that brought on their demise. This is one of the only places on Earth where people were turned into actual statues. Here in this photo, we see what's left of the temple to Jupiter and the volcano that brought the end to this thriving settlement. After being well preserved under about 10 feet of ash, it was rediscovered in 1599, centuries later, while digging in one of the neighboring cities. Initial excavation of Pompeii didn't begin until 1763, because the discovery and digging up of Pompeii was one of the first projects in modern archaeology. Archaeology has brought scientists to understand how the world functioned thousands of years ago. These discoveries help us to understand the progression of human civilization from both a biological and social standpoint. Its discovery largely influenced European and French cultures, bringing in massive crowds into the city of Pompeii and Naples. Currently, it's one of the most popular tourist attractions in all of Italy. However, it's quickly being damaged from erosion, vandalism, and light exposure.
The Chinese people began building this massive mausoleum complex for the country's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, I hope I said that right, in 246 BC. Construction began shortly after Wang ascended the throne when he was just 13 years old. The project was a massive undertaking that would eventually involve around 700,000 workers who would fill the tomb with over 8,000 life-size soldier figurines, along with hundreds of horses and chariots that were all there for one purpose: to protect their leader in the afterlife. Local artisans and government laborers manufactured the army by creating heads, arms, legs, and torso separately and then assembling them into one body. Though it appears workers used 10 basic face molds, each figure appears to have unique facial features. They also vary in height, uniform, and hairstyle. The funerary art and mausoleum are a great achievement in the history of humankind, but one that would remain hidden from the modern world until the 1970s. Farmers that were digging a water well in the modern-day Shanxi province discovered the army on March 29, 1974. Now, these amazing sculptures have no color, but that's only because it faded or flaked off over time. Originally, artists painted them with a variety of pigments ranging in color from bright pink and green to dark blue and black. Figures like these have been recreated to show us exactly how they would have looked. As stunning as the site of the Terracotta Army is today, imagine how it would have looked brand new over 2,000 years ago.
Imagine coming across an ancient Egyptian piece of history like this. Located near the city of Aswan, archaeologists made a huge discovery in 2005. And when we mean huge, we mean the biggest obelisk ever huge. It's believed that this one weighs an estimated 1,168 tons. It's still attached to the bedrock granite below. This massive archaeological project had to be abandoned because parts of the obelisk were beginning to crack. This was ordered by the most powerful female Egyptian ruler ever, by the name of Queen Hatshepsut. She was more powerful than Queen Nefertiti or Cleopatra combined. Queen Hatshepsut also constructed amazing architectural masterpieces, such as this temple in the city of Luxor. It seemed like she might have been trying for something a little bit too big with this one. Archaeologists can learn things such as the stone cutting techniques that were used at this time. This quarry in Aswan plays a remarkable role in history, and it even provided the limestone used in the pyramids. How did the ancient Egyptians carve this obelisk without using metal tools, you might ask? Some believe that wooden or even stone tools were used that would have to be stronger than the bedrock. Hopefully, with much practice and precision, the granite would actually cleave the way they wanted it to. Much of this process still remains a mystery to archaeologists. Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to check out my channel, American Eye. We got more great videos just like this one.